Joining us now is Paul Finebaum, always has his finger on the pulse in the SEC. Paul, you and I talked back in the offseason, and I said that barring a complete meltdown, it would be a mistake for Tennessee to fire Butch Jones. I was wrong. Of course, they did have that meltdown. What does Tennessee need to do now?
They need to calm down, Reese. I was in Knoxville Thursday, and from the moment I landed until the moment I left, the conversation was about John Gruden. But unless something dramatically changes, John Gruden is not going to be the coach. So what happens next? Keep your eye on one man. He's not a coach, but he's a Tennessee graduate. He is Jimmy Sexton, the most powerful agent in the country, and I think he really controls where they go. He represents Saban. He's not leaving, of course, but he does represent people like Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen is a very serious candidate. Also, think about some other Jimmy Sexton clients like Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher is being wooed by his former bosses at LSU, Scott Woodward, to A&M. That opening not yet open, but I think he could also be in play. There are many other possibilities, but Tennessee needs a proven head coach. They don't need to go the Butch Jones route. They don't need to go the Derek Dooley route. They have failed. Now, of course, the wildest story I've heard all day is Lane Kiffin. He's not going to Tennessee, but it would be quite a dramatic story, would it not?
If you were in Tennessee, let's start with Tennessee and then Florida. Who should Tennessee target first? Who'd you target?
I personally would target Chip Kelly. I mean, no matter where.
Either way, Tennessee or Florida?
I don't care if it's UTEP. I mean, if you got a chance to go and get Chip Kelly, I personally would do that and see if he was a viable candidate. I think the interesting aspect here, because of all these jobs, and then talk about possibly A&M and Arkansas and Ole Miss, obviously potentially all these opening up. And now Jimbo Fisher may be leaving Florida State to go to Texas A&M. Now Florida State opens. And there's rumors that Jim Harbaugh may leave Michigan and go to the NFL. What if Michigan opens up? So I think December 20th, it's the first time ever we've had an early signing period.
Yeah.
And these ADs, I think, feel a sense of urgency unlike ever before. So there's not only the amount of openings, but that early signing period. They want to get started. They want to get their fresh start first and not lose out on Chip Kelly or Scott Frost or Dan Mullen or whoever it is. So it's an interesting cat and mouse game going on right now with everybody that's in play. And by the way, there's things that are happening at A&M and at all these schools that still have head coaches with the agent, with the athletic director that no one even knows about.
That would never happen. No.
So
I'm surprised.
That would never happen while somebody has a job. You know,